हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू अंसरकारी। हम बात कर रहे हैं एक ऐसी पीटी फैक्ट सीरीज की फॉर द कमिंग यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन 2022 जो कि अभी जून 2022 में होना तय हुआ है। हाउ वी कैन पिक अप सम मीनिंगफुल फैक्ट्स, और वो फैक्ट्स आपको एक गाइडलाइन दें so that you can move on forward with clarity of thought. Dugong, it is listed as a vulnerable animal on the IUCN Red List, and it is protected under Wildlife Protection Act 1972 under Schedule 1. So dugong is a marine animal, लेकिन मिलता कहाँ है? It is found in the warm coastal waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. ये कीवर्ड है. It is also called sea cow, so that is why it is a herbivore and it primarily grazes on sea grasses. Some of the key facts. You can always explore more about such animals, and if you feel like, you can give us a list or any indication, we will pick up the same. Now, La Nina, a very important phenomena. It is an oceanic and atmospheric phenomena, यानी both oceanic and atmospheric phenomena. एक तरीके से ये colder counterpart है of El Nino. So how it is taking place, or what is it is all about? It is part of the broader El Nino Southern Oscillation, or ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation climate pattern. And this is a period, basically, if we say La Nina is a period when the sea surface temperature across the eastern equatorial part of the central Pacific Ocean is lower than normal by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. So the key word here is to understand that the sea surface temperature is lower than normal, especially in the eastern equatorial part of the central Pacific Ocean. Now, global impacts when we talk about, so this is India, which is going to have some cooler impact. This is Australia and the adjoining region. This is Southern America, both sides. So it is here dry, and on this side it is cool, and it is witnessing both wet and cool. So you have to understand the climate phenomena by understanding it is impacting what region and how. It is very important to note that the region between Southern America and Australia, there is a part which remains dry also. Now another concept is upwelling of water. Upwelling. So the concept goes to the fact that weather when depends upon ocean temperature, and in that context, when the ocean is warm, then more clouds are formed, and if more clouds are formed, there is more rainfall in that part of the world. This is the basic concept. When the ocean is warm, more cloud formation takes place, more rainfall is there. This is how it is. In the Pacific Ocean, especially near equator, the sun makes the water warm on the surface. So in normal conditions, trade winds, they are traveling from east to west across the tropical Pacific, and they are pushing the warm surface waters near South America westwards towards Indonesia. At the same time, cooler water is rising towards the surface in the eastern Pacific near the coast of Ecuador, Peru and Chile, Eastern Pacific. So you have to have understanding of the world map in your mind, and visualization must be strong so that you are able to understand. One another way I can tell you is to reread. Read and repeat the exercise at your own pace. So ये जो process है, it is called upwelling, because the cooler water rises up towards the surface and it is aiding in creation of rich ecosystem. How? Let's see here. So the strong upwelling takes place in the thermocline zone, another keyword. In the deep cold waters, it is being pushed up. This is how the strong trade winds are there. This is how the weather formation or cloud formation takes place, and that's how the cycle is repeated. This is Darwin Coast, Australia, and that is what is happening at Lima, Peru. So the idea is to understand how the process works. Rather than just mugging up, try to see and understand. Another phenomena, as I just said, is of El Nino. Now, how it happens? It starts when the westward blowing trade winds, they get weakened along the equator and they start blowing in another direction. That is from west to east. Yani there is a reversal. Now when there are changes in the air pressure, as I just said, the surface water moves eastwards to the coast of South America. Now the warmer surface water in the Eastern Pacific increase precipitation, and it is going to bring more than normal rainfall in South America. As the winds, they are fetching rains to Asia, that is monsoon phenomena, and Australia, they become weak because of this. They bring less rainfall because of El Nino phenomena, and it may lead to drought conditions. So what we can say in one line, the warming phase of ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation, is called El Nino, while the cooling phase, as we just discussed, is called La Nina. Now very important to note that ENSO or El Nino Southern Oscillation affects the tropics. The tropics, these are the regions surrounding the equator, and the subtropics, the regions adjacent or bordering to the tropics. So I leave it up to your understanding that India would be impacted or not. And if it is, then find out and think about how's that. Now, when we say El Nino global impacts, so you see in the last photograph we were talking about how it was having a different weather pattern over here. Now here it is a different. That is why we have to see impact of El Nino in context of India also. So this photograph clearly depicts different kind of impacts. So UPSC might ask you not what is happening in India, but in general also, if you are aware that because of what reason, in which area, what kind of impact is there, you may be in a better position to answer the question. Forget about it that they are going to ask you what El Nino or La Nina is about. This is just an indication. Thank you very much for your patience and understanding. Our key goal is to give you approach and enough idea so that you can move forward in a sustainable and a confident manner. Remember, there is never a shortcut. Please do subscribe and get back for any support. Thank you very much.